Attention all current and aspiring speech-language pathologists. Is your client currently diagnosed with aphasia? Have you thought about addressing their reading and written language skills? Are these skills important to them? Well, do we have just the treatment for you? It's sound-to-letter and letter-to-sound conversion with or without phonological complexity training. It begins with retraining grapheme-to-phoneme correspondence rules, relying on intact lexical knowledge to mediate the process. First, you associate a relay word or keyword with each letter of the alphabet. Keywords may be picturable to use as a visual cue later in therapy. So for example, you say to your client, point to the letter that makes the A sound. Now think of a word that starts with A. Then have them elongate the first phoneme of the word, such as apple. Tell them the word that starts with A is the key word. Point to the letter that makes the first sound of apple. A is for apple, A is for A. Eventually you reach a point where the person can blend and segment the sounds independently. This is why you'll want to include some phonological skill training in your therapy sessions as well. Phonological complexity training may also be used to increase your client's ability to read and write. Phonological complexity training is a technique that adds training complex syllables and clusters of consonants with the theory that the training will generalize to more simple consonant clusters. The complexity of the cluster is based on the sounds it contains. For example, voiceless stops are easiest to produce, while glides are the most complex sound to produce, which is shown on here. Voiceless stops are the least complex, and things like glides, liquids, and nasals are the most complex to produce. So, it is believed that the smaller, more similar clusters are more complex, which generalizes to longer and more different as far as the complexity to produce of clusters goes. So, please remember, folks, the stimuli you select needs to be catered to your client's individual needs. You don't need to train certain sounds or clusters if your client already knows them. So let's have a look at what this looks like in a clinical setting. If you could turn your attention to the client and clinician below the screen and pause the video. This technique is often used in training individuals with deep alexia, those with mild to moderate aphasia, those who are functional before the injury, are highly motivated, and have relatively preserved visual perceptual skills. Now I know what you're thinking, sounds great, but where's the evidence? In 2001, generalization was tested on A, oral reading of an untrained set of words, B, oral naming of trained and untrained words, C, written naming of trained and untrained words, and D, writing to dictation of trained and untrained words. Participants were trained to read words aloud through a series of steps that emphasize grapheme to phoneme conversion and phoneme to grapheme conversion. Significant increases in performance were seen in each modality in addition to the improvement on aphasia battery subtests, such as the WOB or the BNT. More evidence can be found in our complete all-in-one package if you choose letter-to-sound and sound-to-letter conversion training.